Hi, everybody. Once again, welcome to another PRTC Community Calendar. And we're at the beautiful, what we used to call the Hampton Street Auditorium. Of course, now it's known as the Civic Center. And Jenny Bunton is doing a phenomenal job of bringing some really world-class entertainment to right here in Walterboro. Once again, the Civic Center is a jewel in the crown of Walterboro, and she is doing such a great job. And I understand you've got a great comedy night with the Boomer Broads. Now, I'm assuming Boomer meaning around my age group, I guess.
I'm going to be careful and not answer that question.
Okay.
Yes, the Boomer Broads, I found them. They travel all over the country. They've actually been showcased on NBC comedy shows, other networks such as Fox, and some other, you know, just some neat stuff. They've got some big notoriety in some of the smaller circles of comedy groups.
Sure.
And they travel to the upper part of the state, and I found out that is a fabulous area to tap into because they don't know about down here.
Right.
And I contacted them, and they were on their way to Savannah.
So it's a perfect stop.
Perfect stop.
Right.
And I said, do you know where we are? And they said, no clue. I said, well, that means you need to come visit.
Exactly.
So these three ladies, I've talked to them several times. They are so sweet. They are very funny. I've got videos and examples on the website at colletoncivic.org, and also on the Facebook and Instagram pages for the Civic Center.
Right.
But we're going to have us an ultimate ladies' night. Now, that doesn't mean the fellas don't need to come.
Okay.
We need the fellas to be here, too.
Right, of course.
So I've got some local businesses that have given us some donations. We're going to do a free ladies raffle for some fun stuff.
Oh, nice.
We've got two poor girls will be here with their mobile bar set up.
Big hit.
We'll have a little small concession table with snacks, and we're going to have a good time.
You know, one of the things people have to worry about sometimes when it comes to comedy shows, and you and I were talking before we started, the interview here, that it's family friendly.
Yes, it is. It is family friendly. In addition, we'll have waters and sodas for sale as well. Yeah, it's comedy. You know, sometimes can be a risky kind of situation.
Exactly.
And even though everybody needs to laugh, and not everybody laughs at the same stuff.
That's true.
But these ladies pride themselves on being family friendly, very funny, very sweet, and everybody just needs to come.
All right, the Boomer Broads, and they're going to be here again when?
They're going to be here Friday, March 28th at 7. You can get tickets online at colletoncivic.org. You can visit the Colleton Museum. You can visit me right here at the office, and we'll have some at the door for sale as well.
All right, so the Boomer Broads coming March 28th. Looking forward to some great comedy. Family-friendly comedy.
That's right.
Now, you got so many things going on.
Yes.
All right, the next we're going to talk about an art exhibit. Now, you've got a little different art exhibit. Tell us about this, which I always love. You're constantly changing the art, and I always enjoy, dropping by and looking at it.
Yeah, you always do. Thank you. I appreciate
And you've got something a little different this time. Tell me about it.
I do. In that little small art gallery space, it's a fantastic multi-purpose room that's used for meetings, gatherings. We do all kinds of stuff in there, but it's got these beautiful walls that are just made for hanging art. And this month we did something a little bit differently. I have on the website, you can contact the office to display your art for free, because some people, they don't know if they're comfortable with venturing out with such a personal part of themselves.
It can be, yes.
This is a smaller way to see if it's something they're interested in doing before they put it into a bigger space. So this month I was contacted by a local author, and I was not aware that in our area we have a group of authors and illustrators that meet monthly, not only to encourage and work together and encourage each other, but they self-publish and sell their works. And I was really shocked and really impressed. They came up here and brought some of their stuff, their paintings and illustrations from their books, and I said, why don't we set up the books? That's an art form. That is a literary art form.
Exactly.
And so about 5 of them came up here and set up 3 tables of some of their artwork that has inspired their books, but also put their books out and their information in case anybody would like to reach out to them and purchase them. And if they're interested in even joining this group, they're known as the Writers Who Write of Walterboro.
That is really cool.
It is very neat to see
the illustrators are from the area as well?
All these people are local.
So they just joined up. You got the illustrators, you got the
and some of them do both. We even have one gentleman that teaches at the high school. He's an international teacher, and he takes Indian novels and translates them into English.
From the Indian language, and he puts it over into where English. That's
exactly.
That's amazing.
And so it was very informational for me. I had no clue. I had met one of the ladies previously because she brought in some of her photography, and she just happened to mention, we have a writers group. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. I'd love to meet them. And they brought in all of this stuff. And in addition to that, they take their illustrations. We've got some ladies that have painted the stuff on plates and on ceramics they have designed. We've got quilts that they have also brought with them in addition to another art group in there.
Right.
It's just been neat to see these different things come in. I never know what they're going to bring in, but
that
I
is
love
so
it.
good. I love the history of the fact he's taking Indian stories,
but
translating them where anybody, we can read about them.
I go in there and look at it every other day because I see something different. But that group's in there. In addition, we have a group called the Saturday Social Sewing Group.
Okay.
And it's just a group of people that enjoy doing quilts. They've come together and created stuff together, and they've got a couple of their things hanging in there this month.
I love the artwork of the quilt. I mean, you think about what has to go in to make all the different designs and patterns and everything.
And the stories behind them. I had one lady come in and she explained to me her quilt and everything that was on it and where she got the pieces from to create it. And then we have a beautiful set of paintings also on display. It's a very eclectic mix for the next couple of months, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm impressed by the people that are. I get to meet some of the neatest people in this job. I really do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So the art exhibit will be going on for how long?
The art exhibit will be going on through the end of April.
Right.
So we can then get ramped up for some special stuff coming
up. Any specific times they need to stop by the Civic Center?
Just whenever the Civic Center is open, and whenever I have events here, like during the Boomer Broads. Next week, it will be open.
So they can go look at the art as well as enjoy the show. All right, well, that sounds good. I'm looking forward to seeing that as soon as we wrap up.
Good.
All right, and you got speaking of so much stuff, you got a tribute to Southern Rock. Now, that's kind of where I cut my teeth when I was younger. Southern Rock. I actually met and talked with Dickie Betts from the Allman Brothers, Greg Allman, all those guys, and of course grew up in Marshall Tucker and Charlie Daniels and Leonard Skinner. Actually, Ronnie Van Zant's aunt used to call me all the time. She lives in Charleston. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Aunt Lee is. So I got a lot of Southern roots for Southern Rock, and I understand you've got a tribute band coming that's going to be about the heroes of Southern Rock.
We do. Last year, I had someone bring in some groups, and this gentleman said, he was a promoter. He said, I'm going to bring in some stuff to the Colleton area, and I said, okay. And he contacted me about this group from Atlanta called the Glow Band. Brought him in. I wasn't even here. He had rented the facility, brought him in. I was out of town, and I started getting phone calls a couple weeks after, when are they coming back?
Wow.
And I said, well, I mean, we can look into it. I thought it was a fluke thing.
Right.
Every time I've had an event, is the Glow Band coming back? So I didn't wait on this promoter. I called them myself and I said, listen, there's some people that have been asking, when is Glow Band coming back? They did an Eagles tribute last year. And so they had never played in South Carolina.
Wow.
They had only played around the Georgia area. They'd gone up to Tennessee and some other places, but had never gotten into a market like ours for South Carolina.
Right.
So I called them and I said, y'all want to come back? I said, I've got people asking for you. And they said, we loved the feel of Walterboro. We'd love to come back.
That's really cool.
So I think there's about 7 people in the band. They're going to come in and do Leonard Skinner, Charlie Daniels, Allman Brothers, everybody that you mentioned.
Right.
Full band. They are wonderful. They are so much fun. And they get audience participation. They brought people up on the stage last year. They go out in the audience. I heard nothing but awesome stuff. I'm excited to bring them ourselves.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Now, when is that going to be?
That is not until April 12th, but that's only a couple weeks away.
It's going to be here before you know it.
It is, and once again, the gallery will be open with the same stuff I was telling you about. And then also, we'll have another group with a mobile bar coming in, another local business called Sip and Saddle.
Sip and Saddle?
Sip and Saddle.
Oh,
so,
right.
we get promoted by so many great local things. This is a community civic building. I really like to promote the small businesses around here, whether it's something like that or downtown or other stuff. It's a great community, and I think this is a great venue with these type of events to celebrate that.
And like I said, you're bringing so much great talent to the area.
I'm trying.
And you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You really are. Tell you what, we're going to take a quick break because we got a lot more to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
They got one big surprise. A guy I know fairly well is going to be coming to town.
I heard that rumor.
Looking forward to talking about that in a minute. Anyway, once again, you're watching PRTC's Community Calendar. We're talking to Jenny Bunton. Jenny is just an awesome person who does so much for the community, especially right here at the Civic Center. We'll have more on the Community Calendar with PRTC, Jenny and me, in just a few moments.